What is up, YouTube? So this is just gonna be a raw, very little cuts, other than me probably saying a lot, but very raw video of my experience with OFM. If you don't know what OFM is, it's OnlyFans Management. I was in the business for 2 years, just a little over 2 years. I just want to share my experience. Someone who's not a guru, who doesn't have a course to sell, who just wants to give anybody who generally wants to get into that business model some advice and some guidance of stuff that I learned throughout my journey and my time in the business, which, for disclaimer, I am not affiliated or in that business anymore in any shape or form. And I would just give you guys some, I guess shortcuts essentially to speed ramp your journey in it, if, like I said, that's what you decide to do. And also just kind of like the shadiness of the business and just, my overall experience. I started back in 2022. Ended 2024. It was just kind of an opportunity that fell into my lap. Let me tell you this, it is very quick and easy money to be made in this business. But don't think you're gonna be some overnight millionaire, that's not the case, but it is very easy to generate another 3 to 10K, like very quickly within months. But in that short time, I did generate over 300K, I believe. Pop up some screenshots. I was running 2 pages. This is my biggest client, and I had at one time 4 people I was managing at once, but my biggest client, I did over 300K in revenue with them. That is just revenue. That's not profit. It should show the net profit in that too. Net profit still isn't everything I took home as well, because there's the splits with the model, and then there's also the all the software and stuff that you're going to use, and if you have employees, you're paying out the employees. So all that net profit isn't really profit either. It is what you do take home, but you do have expenses. Overhead is not as much as most businesses, but there is still overhead for the most part. Some things to expect when starting the business. The hardest part will probably be signing your first client. Sometimes it's easier than not. Sometimes a lot of people, for me example, you fall into it because you know someone who knows someone, and that's the easiest way to get into it. But there's also places that I feel like most gurus don't even talk about this unless you buy their course or buy their mentorship or whatever. But there's marketplaces where literally these models will go and they basically play the middleman. They're looking for agencies to work with, basically. So you buy out their contract or whatever, and they basically give you their contact information. You guys work on from there. So that's another route. I found them through because I did join a course. His name is Mark Hustle. I'm pretty sure he's one of the biggest guys in the whole space. I don't know many other guys who are just as big as him, if not bigger. His course was actually good. It was more of a coaching program than it was just a course, because they did weekly calls. They did 2 weekly calls a week, so that was cool. And then they're actually interactive in the chat. Most programs or most courses, they literally just throw on some random shit that you could have found on YouTube and then sell it for like fucking $1,000. This one was, I believe, $2,000 or maybe 2,400. I don't remember exactly, but it was a hefty price. But like I said, it was a coaching program, and they had a lot of tools. So that is one guy I would recommend. Check him out, Mark Hustle. He's actually a guy that I would trust with my money. I did trust with my money. Our hardest part, I would say, is honestly landing your first client. Once you get that, it's all marketing from there. That's literally the name of the game. It's marketing. How well can you market social media, and then how well can you manage the page too as well, because yeah, you can get eyes and bring people to her page, but if you can't monetize it, then that's where you make the money. Unless you have money from another business or a job or whatever, be prepared to do some of the chatting yourself as well, at least for the first couple months. I mean, regardless if you have the money to outsource that, I would say you still do the chatting for at least the first couple months, so you know what it's like and what actually goes on before you hire it out. So when you do hire that stuff out, you understand if your worker or whoever you hire is actually doing a good job or not, and you're not just blowing money on outsourcing it right away because you're trying to just get away from it. I believe for 6-7 months I did the chatting myself on one of the pages before I outsourced it, had the whole structure, and it was great. It was hands off, and it was literally just eventually collecting money hand over fist without doing much other than checking in on the chatters, and then I was just focusing on the marketing. Sometimes I would post, but for the most part the models always liked handling their own posting, but sometimes I'd have to pick it up and post for them on Twitter, Instagram, whatever it might be. Now, as to any business, there's always a dark side to it. I think this business model has one of the darkest sides though. Just the whole I'm trying to think of the word. The view that people already have on, that whole subject and this whole platform of it. It does have a dark side, and I got scammed quite a few times. Some of them were my fault. Some of them, people seem trustworthy and they just aren't. But it is what it is. It happens. That's one of the reasons, one of the big reasons why I ended up quitting. Towards the end of me feeling like I didn't care to do this stuff anymore, someone ran away with a good chunk of money, and I had already thrown that into marketing, and it sucked. Like I said, learning lesson. It is what it is. Just be prepared for that stuff and be very cautious. There are a lot of people in that business who are just trying to get a hand over you, whether it's making a quick couple $100, but you do that 10 times over, that's $2,000. So there's a lot of fishy things. So just be very cautious and very aware as you get into it. And it's a very gray area business because it's not bad, nothing illegal you're doing. I can't speak for everybody because there are some people I'm sure doing some really shady stuff that's borderline illegal, if not illegal. It's a gray area business. Like, it's not illegal, but it's also not like you're gonna go to family dinner and be like, oh yeah, this is what I'm doing. So that's another reason why I ended up quitting, because I was just like, it's not something I really care to talk about. I want to be in a business where I can talk about it and be happy to express it with everybody. That's also why I created this YouTube channel, was to just talk about my experiences in business. I've been in the business space since 2020. COVID basically is when I took the leap of faith. Started as an e-com guy, had some luck there, but never really anything took off. Started my own media agency, which turned into the management as well for the most part, but I still do shoots and stuff as a freelancer for the most part because I am a videographer at heart. But I created this channel just to kind of showcase my life, but then also talk more business for all those guys who are just starting or want to get started and just want some advice on things. Because that's always what I wanted when I was going through it, because I had none of my friends were into it, into business, and yeah, it was a lonely road. So just want to give a helping hand and honest opinion with no courses, no guru bullshit. Because yeah, the guru thing is crazy. It's a great source of income. There's a lot of guys killing it, making money off of it, but it's like most of the stuff you can learn for free. The courses are just essentially to structure all that into one nice, neat area. If it's a good course, a lot of courses are just bullshit scams. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I'm probably going to make a couple more of some tools that you might want to start off with. Yeah, I probably will make another couple videos on tools you can use that I use and that most guys in the industry use. But yeah, for the most part, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Just a very raw video. I haven't made one of these type of videos in a while. I was vlogging for a hot minute, but if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you guys hit that like button for me, subscribe for more content, and then comment down some things if you're trying to get into the business, or if you have your own stories to tell. Leave a comment down below and I'll get to them, respond back, and make videos on questions that might need to be answered. But till the next video, guys, I'll see ya. Peace. So real quick, I realized as I'm editing this, I didn't give a rating or whatever, but overall my experience with the whole OFM industry and business model, I would say it was more good than bad, except for the end, when I lost that chunk of change and a bunch of other stuff happened at the same time. But overall, very easy business model to get into. Just be very cautious and very wary of who you're talking to, who you're trusting. Make sure you vet them as many times as possible. But yeah, it's, like I said, a gray area business, so it's not the worst to get into, but it's also not the best to stay in, I guess, depending on, who you are, your morals and stuff. But it is a very quick way to make money if you're a young person just trying to start your first business.